Hello, everybody, and welcome to UNTV, where we're trying to figure out what the hell's going on WandaVision. And this week, we maybe got some answers, because have you guys heard? It was Agatha all along.
That was a great song. I loved it so much.
Yeah,
It's so catchy.
so catchy.
It's been stuck in my head since I heard it. Hello, everybody. I am Sky. With me today, we got Allison, a.k.a. I Want to Munch.
Hello.
We got Unexpected Cake.
Hi, that's my legal name.
And we have Zoe.
Hi.
And how's everyone feeling about this episode? Let's start with Munch. What was the big highlight for you here?
Big highlight was definitely Agatha. We've been saying for a while that, I thought she was a handler. I didn't think she was actually pulling the strings, but turns out she was, and it was fantastic. So good. So good.
So good. It is true. How's everyone else feeling about this reveal, Cake?
I mean, yeah, not shocked. I think we all knew that there was something other than Wanda in control, so to just kind of have it like clarified that, yeah, it's her. She's the purple witch. I don't know. Is that what we're gonna call her?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
We got the burgundy magician and the purple witch. The perfect battle.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I think I missed out on talking last week and talking about how that scene where when we think she's under the control and she's just like at her car in the stuff, like that made me more suspicious of her than I was before. It actually reversed completely what you guys were saying. So I'm not surprised, but I'm like, I'm good. It's fun.
So here's actually the first time I'm feeling really critical of this show in a negative kind of way. Not because it's turned out to be Agatha Harkness or because it turns out Kathryn Hahn is a bad guy, but the way they've done this reveal, I think I've already complained on an earlier episode. If it turned out to be Agatha Harkness, that's kind of lame just because her alias here was Agnes, which is just a portmanteau of Agatha and Harkness. So we got a cat joining us now. A perfect cat butt during my rant. So yeah, I think it's a little lame to come in and just be like, my real name is Agatha, but I'm going by Agnes, and it's so different, it's gonna trick all you guys. But then there's also the question of why did she need an alias anyway if no one on the show knows Agatha Harkness?
Well, that was going to be my question. Like, does anyone in the community or in Sword know who Agatha is?
I want to say no, just based off the fact that when we saw the wall of all of the IDs of who people actually are, they haven't been able to ID her. So it leads me to believe that there's no prior knowledge of Agatha Harkness anywhere. So again, why is she... What was the point in changing her name, aside from maybe to trick the audience?
And I get what you're saying. So if the point was to trick the audience, why use a pseudonym so close to her real name that most comic book nerds figured it out? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't even that good of a trick? Like, it seems weird. I agree.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it has any point in the narrative of the show itself, or at least this is how I'm feeling about it. I'm sure Agatha Harkness is going to do some cool stuff. I'm loving Kathryn Hahn in here, but just that reveal felt like a false narrative kind of thing that makes no sense in the world.
I didn't mind it at all, but I mean, I don't have a lot of background context for the MCU as a whole, especially with the comic books, so I had no prior knowledge of Agatha, and I don't know how she fits into this MCU, so yeah, I don't know, I didn't mind it.
And what about the big reveal about the aerospace engineer, possibly, with the whole Monica storyline?
Zoe, do you have any thoughts on that?
What do you mean a big reveal? I don't think we were set up for a big reveal. I think we expected one, but I don't think there was. I think we were reading too much into, I know this person. Mm-hmm. I think it was just, no, it's a person. I mean, I don't know that. Maybe it was someone I'm meant to know, but I have no prior knowledge either.
Because that was going to be my question for you, Zoe. Because I was like, this woman is nobody. I don't know her. I don't recognize her. And so it did really feel like a letdown after all of this buildup of Monica talking about this person that she knows, bringing them in to help,
Mhm.
and it being basically nobody.
Yeah. This person seems to have no anything, not from the MCU, not from comics. She's just Major Goodner, who seems to just be made up for this, which it seems weird that they just spent 2 episodes being like, we're going to go see that great contact, and I have this special person we could go see for help.
Yeah, it's like
Okay,
they were just trying to like build this connection between like her and her past life, like in the military and whatnot, or aerospace or whatever it is. But it's like, why? I don't think it mattered at all.
Well, I don't know if that's where they were going, but what I find interesting is that they're still sword people. That's sword equipment. But they're obviously like not working with Hayward. So I feel like maybe that's what they were trying to hint at. I think everybody in the entire universe got hyped up about like, oh my God, this is going to be something else. We're so excited. And I think that's why we got let down. But I was very confused about it being like sword stuff. And I was like, wait, so they're sword people, but they're not.
But they don't answer to Hayward, or they're just defecting? That's the right word, right? Yeah.
Defective.
They're defective.
That's not very nice.
Kate, what did you think of this situation?
Yeah, I almost wonder if it was a red herring to try and keep us occupied thinking about that, so we didn't try and figure out more important things. I don't know. It was a whatever. I knew it wasn't gonna work. I'm like, I really don't care if that thing's made for space. It's not made for magic. So
yeah, I think
like,
Sword
what are you
thinks that
thinking?
space is magic, so it would work.
It's basically the same thing. Other planets, that's definitely mystical.
Like, I just was not shocked at all. It's like, no, just because you think you have this positive attitude, you're not gonna get through.
Oh, it's totally gonna go through. It's totally fine. It's like, how do you know that?
And then she's just like, okay, bye, I'll just go through. And it's like, well, I guess. Okay.
So now she's magical too? Is that what's
she's
happened
she's
here?
a blue wizard.
Oh, man, there's too many wizards on this show,
There's
you guys.
so many wizards.
No, there's one wizard, one magician, and one witch. Come on, you guys.
Okay, all different.
Color coded for us.
They are color coded.
I also think it's really
Like
interesting.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, like Power Rangers. It's really interesting that we now have 3 strong females with supernatural abilities and their own colors, which I mean is neat. But yeah, I think that's an interesting point that this show has brought us to. That the men are just kind of there. Hayward's a dick.
Well, he's just the typical white man. I mean, you gotta have at least one of them.
Quicksilver is there, but now it's super interesting that Agnes brought him.
Maybe created him.
I think she created him.
Also, I really liked that montage of like showing, oh, Agnes did this and Agnes did this. Yeah, the point when she brought Quicksilver and she's just sitting on their lawn in the middle of the night having a picnic.
So good. So good.
Oh,
yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah. So good. Love it.
And then the final line of that song, if we're going to bring it back to Agatha too, and I killed Sparky too, which we kind of predicted, but so harsh to reveal it in that way.
I think it just really drives home who she is as a character. Like, there is no question about it that she's just pure evil. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next. Also, I want to rewind all the way back to the beginning because we kind of started at the end. Can someone please confirm what that theme song was pretending to be?
I think it was supposed to be a similar tune to The Office.
Really?
The tune was reminiscent.
But then all the shots of just like Wanda everywhere, what was that?
It might have been Modern Family, like the rest of the episode was kind of supposed to be.
The Modern Family theme song is not that. The show is. The theme song is not.
It was definitely the show Modern Family.
Yes, 100%. The theme song.
And the graphics, I could not place it, and it was bugging me.
I think it was just a nod to 2010 TV.
The aughts. I learned that recently.
A couple important things to bring up here. One's just a real quick one. We got what is the closest we're going to get to a Stan Lee cameo in this episode, because actually in that opening you're bringing up, during the all the places we're seeing Wanda's name pop up, one of them is a license plate, and right above, like, the license plate says Wanda on it, but the numbers above that are 12/28/22, which is actually December 28th, 1922, Stan Lee's birthday.
Neat.
Interesting. My mind was still stuck on The Office, so I was very confused for a minute.
Yeah, you know when Stan Lee was in The Office?
It's all connected, you guys.
No, the other way. Stanley from The Office.
Oh, Stanley Hudson. Yeah, you know how Stanley Hudson's in every MCU movie?
Yeah.
And
my favorite. I just want to talk about my favorite bit of the credits is the "Sorry, we're Wanda," and that just made me laugh a lot.
That is pretty great.
Oh, so that like Wanda in different spots for the opening scene, it's a direct reference to Happy Endings.
I've seen
I
an
haven't seen
episode
it,
of that,
yeah,
so
I haven't
yeah.
seen it, but so there you go. It was copying something, and it was supposed to be referencing The Office and Modern Family as well. Though I feel very embarrassed that I did not make the connection to The Office, so I'm just gonna have to leave now.
Like,
This
leave
show-
the small things for this.
Yeah.
WandaVision in general has a number of connections to The Office, though, right?
Such as?
Well, Wu was
Oh,
on The
that's
Office.
true. Yes.
Oh yeah. He was
And the
good.
Jim,
and the
yeah,
actor that plays Quicksilver was like a student intern or something near the beginning.
Was he?
Yes, I saw a post on Instagram yesterday, and
Oh.
he had shaggy hair.
Yeah.
Did not care about anything.
He was
Oh,
just
wait.
awful. So awful.
Cake. I think you need to take over the small things and just kick those two out.
So
because-
good. That
Come on,
is a
guys.
great connection. I know exactly who you're talking about, and he
Was
is
that Meredith's son?
Michael's nephew.
Oh, okay.
He is somehow related to Michael. I'm sure it's his nephew.
Yeah,
And,
there was a
yeah.
third person too, and I can't remember who it was. I don't think it was that important, but
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, I always forget that
just a fun fact.
Wu was Jim on The Office. So there you go. Fun connection.
Anyways,
What's everybody thinking about Monica's powers? Going back to that a little bit, and more specifically, the sequence of her kind of unlocking them as she goes through the hex and kind of is split apart and comes back together and everything. Zoe, you have any thoughts?
I mean, it was cool. That's pretty much all I have. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, all the stuff that we hear when she's going through the hex is stuff that we already heard, so nothing was really super surprising. But like, it was neat. I liked it.
Did you pick up on what a lot of that stuff was from?
Well, that's from Captain Marvel, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right, her
back when
past.
she was little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I just I don't know or understand what her powers really are other than being blue in colored. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I just have more questions from what's been shown just on this show.
Cake?
yeah, I would agree. It kind of looked like she was being split into different parts of her personality, maybe, but then she was able to pull it all back together and break through, which signifies some type of strength, I would assume, because nobody else has been able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't know.
So do you
She's
think
blue, Wanda's red, maybe they make purple.
plot twist.
Maybe.
They created Agnes.
It's just colors.
There was time
Agatha.
travel.
Do you think that if she just keeps going back and forth through the hex, eventually she'll be like indestructible and invincible and live forever?
Oh, maybe she should start trying.
Right? Just run back and forth like 20 times.
Solid plan.
What if that's how Quicksilver becomes the big bad at the end of all this? He just starts using the super speed to go back and forth until he's invincible and then takes them all on.
There you go. I did like his little cameo appearance in the post credits or during credits. I don't know what it's
Yeah,
called.
Mid
the
credit.
first during credits scene we've had in the entire series. The little Snooper's Gotta Snoop as Was she checking out Wanda's place? At first I thought it
No,
was Agatha's.
That's
No,
Agatha's.
it's
It
Agatha's.
is Agatha's? Okay.
The only reason I know that is because it's 2804 and they live, WandaVision have always lived at 2800.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, and so those like purple vines or roots, whatever's in her basement, I don't know. It looked weird. That's all I
just
got.
evil stuff.
Evil vines.
That's
Evil
just how your
vines.
place is evil and spooky.
I also realize I know we're skipping around, but I just want to talk about the fact that when she saved Wanda from talking to Monica and was like, no, come with me, and brings her into her house, it's like she's going to ask where her children are, and then you right away tell her they're in the basement. So she's going to go into the basement and find your secret lair. Like, I realize it's to progress the story, but it just.
I think that she wanted to trap her.
I
She
think that was on
decided
purpose.
that this was the optimal time to do
But
it.
couldn't she just do it?
Nah, this was better. Better storytelling.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But also, where are the children?
I don't think they ever existed.
You think Agatha created them?
Possibly. I think that fits with the fact that Wanda has literally zero control of who they are, what they're feeling, what they're thinking. And they're the only ones, apart from Vision, that she doesn't have any control over what they're doing with their day. And obviously Quicksilver, which fits into that story, like that theory.
Interesting.
And they had to play into creepy twins kind of stuff as Billy looks over to Agatha and is just like, "You're so quiet on the inside."
Oh, I didn't think it was a creepy twin thing. That's just like a mutant thing.
You put twins in a horror movie, that's how it's happening every single time.
Yeah, but that was just showing his like psychic abilities, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it was meant to be creepy. I think it was just further showcasing.
I mean, children are naturally creepy, so I think it makes sense. But
that is also true.
True. And I think it might have been pointed out in that previous episode, but anytime that the twins aged up, Agatha was around.
Yeah.
Like directly in the vicinity. So it doesn't make any sense. Like from a reproductive point of view, if Vision is like an animated corpse, where did the life come from? Like it doesn't compute. And I realize that magic is a thing, but
yeah, as far as we're aware, like Wanda has not created people. She's reanimated one dude, but she hasn't physically created anybody apart from the twins that we don't know where they're from. So
yeah. Anyways.
Just to back up for a second, though, on something Cake said there. So, Cake, are you saying your issue is only that he is a reanimated corpse and not the fact that he's a robot?
You know what? Robosexual love needs to be more accepted in our society. Robots are people too.
Good point. Is there any other highlights anyone specifically wants to jump over to?
Yes. The entire circus and the entire van driving thing was like my favorite part, and I wanted 20 hours of it.
Oh, the circus was so great. Did anyone notice when we got one of the shots of just the random circus performers going around, there was one that was almost definitely supposed to be a nod to the Phoenix from X-Men. She was just in very phoenixy colored, like wing kind of clothing.
I did not notice that.
That's
just
neat.
a little thing. I don't think it meant anything, but that was there. Did anyone else have any highlights from the circus or the drive? That whole sequence with Vision?
I just think it's really funny that Vision can literally fly, but instead they steal a funnel cake truck, van, whatever it's called, and decide to drive back to town. And that they're sitting there waiting for stoplights. Like, just go.
Oh, and then he goes and sits down and does an interview, and I was like, wait, what are you doing?
And then he's like, wait, what am I doing? So good. It's so good, yes. It was great to see Darcy survive and like that he recognized her, and yeah, it was very interesting. I wish the entire episode had been at the circus, because I think that's fun, but yeah, it was still good.
Cake, what about you? Any thoughts on this particular area?
No, all of that 100% agree with. I think it's really, really funny. It was a good like comedic break to everything else crazy that's going on. Yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's all I got. Allison said all the parts that I love. So
Allison, how dare you take it all?
Oh, there was a little bit in the circus that it's just a really like small joke, but that cracked me up. It's just like when Vision's trying to distract her to get out of her mind control, and he's like, "Look at that mime! This tray's getting too heavy." She's like, "Oh my god, your bad back! Be careful!" And that just made me laugh so much.
Yes. Yeah, when
Darcy
she
had so
was
many
under the
great
spell,
moments.
Darcy's lines were so good. Talking about wanting to be the bearded woman, but this alabaster skin is not fooling anyone, or whatever she said. Like, it was just so good. I love her. I think she needs to be in more things.
Not only that, even after the spell's broken on her and Vision's like, I have questions. He's like, I have answers. 2 seconds later, he starts asking questions. She's like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
she's like, I don't know
any of this.
I don't know. I named this the Hex, though. Do you like it? It's the Hex.
And her just bringing up multiple times that she's a fan of the show. Like, she wanted to have a guest appearance, but not like this. And how she's been watching the show for a week and she believes in their love.
Which is like, I did not agree with that line, saying that their love is real or whatever. Like, the entire thing is fabricated by Wanda.
Yeah.
So how could you even know that? I don't know. I thought it was silly.
What did you guys like more out of the like messing with the mockumentary format here, where we had like Vision being like, why am I even doing this? And storming off and bumping his head on the boom mic. Or we had Wanda, who is confessing she doesn't know what's going on or anything. And a voice from behind the camera says, maybe this is what you deserve. And she's like, you're not supposed to talk.
It was an interesting way to approach the mockumentary style TV show. Because most of the times, yeah, it's like acting like that is a real like set or like interview that's happening, and they don't really break that fourth wall, which is kind of what this whole episode was about. So I thought that was really interesting, and I thought that the whole lost my train of thought. Bye.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's gone, you guys. Someone
I'll come
else
back
want
to
to
you.
take it?
Okay, Cake, what did you think? Quick.
what did I think about what?
The two breaking of the fourth wall mockumentary things.
Also, why
Yeah.
was Agatha sitting there? That's what I was going to say, and I'm so sorry I'm interrupting you, because now I remembered.
Why was she sitting in the director's chair?
Yeah, so she was... Because is that just kind of saying that she's controlling this whole thing? But not... But when Wanda was giving those interviews, she wasn't actually there? I don't know what I'm trying to ask. Do you know?
No, I don't think she was actually there. I think it was very much like kind of, yeah, showing that she's controlling the same way she probably wasn't having a picnic outside when Quicksilver was around. I think it was just kind of like stylized.
Zoe,
like,
that's what they showed us. It had to
Oh,
happen.
Allison, they added that in
Oh.
post.
that movie never, this TV show never lies. We've learned this.
It's true. It's all factual.
If there's anything I want to take literally, it's Agatha just being everywhere, though. It's so great.
It is. It's super fantastic. Can we talk
All
about the
right.
commercial?
Yeah. Does anyone have any thoughts specifically on the commercial?
I thought it was like a really funny, like,
What was that about?
drug commercial that especially the United States has, right? Like, do you have this? Ask your doctor about this. And then it's like these most ridiculous like side effects that could occur, including more depression.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like so well done. And the final line about wasn't the final line something about this is what you deserve?
The world revolves around you.
Oh right, the world revolves around you.
Yeah, the tagline to this whole thing was Nexus, because the world doesn't revolve around you, or does it?
It was just like it was a spot on spoof of those drug commercials that were
It was
or
perfect.
are still prevalent. I don't know.
Fun fact.
Yes.
Advertising medication, prescription drugs in Canada is illegal. You will never see a Canadian-based one on television, the internet, print, anywhere. Just, it's not allowed because basically like it says in the commercial, ask your doctor about, well, no, tell your doctor how you're feeling, what your symptoms are. He'll run some tests, and then the doctor will decide what to prescribe to you.
Or what your
Like,
medical treatment should be.
yeah, like that's not how the medical world works.
Well, it does,
So,
though.
But what if you're smarter than your doctor and you could be like, doctor, I know what I need?
Well, and then doesn't it work like, and this is getting very off track, but doesn't it work that then the doctors get kickbacks and stuff from the pharmacy or pharmaceutical companies if they prescribe
Drugs.
Nexus?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But I thought it was a good ad. I enjoyed it.
It was. Zoe, you have any thoughts on the commercial?
I mean, no more than that. What's Nexus? If I missed something, am I confused? I don't know.
So this, I think, is the first one where I've been making the point with all these commercials, like we're running through Wanda's timeline. I think this one is the first one that's referring to this show. I think we've gotten to the point of like we're caught up with Wanda's history. Nexus is not something that is in reference to anything in the MCU right now until maybe this. And so it's from the comics. It's something I had to look up, and there's two different versions of it. One is the more likely one that we're looking at. One's just kind of a cool thing that I want to read up on later. But the one that's just kind of cool is a Nexus is a person who, in the entirety of the multiverse, there's only one of that person, which is just kind of a cool idea for a story. I don't know what Marvel did with that, but I'm kind of curious. And in the comics, apparently both Scarlet Witch and Vision were Nexuses.
Nexi.
So, and the other thing is the Nexus is just the point between worlds in the multiverse, which could mean that that's what everything in Westview is right now. That this isn't just she cast a spell to mess with minds. We're actually dealing with another universe contained within Westview.
Interesting.
Which I actually want to kind of jump back to the Monica thing for a second here, because with this in mind, I took her breaking apart like that to be like her almost being forced into different universe versions of herself until she was able to pull herself together and be the same her as she went through. Like maybe there's a chance these people aren't completely having their minds messed with, but they're being alternate universe versions of themselves, which would be insane, but is at least a possibility if that's what we're getting into here.
That's a very deep and interesting take on it.
But then what about all those people that Vision like visually saw like crying, or Norm
Glitching.
when he unfroze him and was begging him to make it stop?
I honestly don't have any full answers or anything. The Norm, at least with the people like crying while putting up the clothes and stuff, that I have no answers for. The Norm thing, I could see it being explained as a way of like, because like imagine another version of yourself took over your mind and the you is still kind of like stuck in your head. That could be very upsetting and everything. So I could see it working for those ones, but I don't know that it explains everything. So I don't know that this is actually what's happening, but it's something that I think is at least a small possibility, if not completely out of left field.
Fair enough.
Actually, one more quick thing while I brought us back to that Monica thing. When she strips off the astronaut getup, spacesuit, that's what that's called.
There you go.
The shirt she has on underneath is actually in a visual reference to her Pulsar costume in the comics, like the way it's got the grays over the white and stuff. If you remove the sword logo and put like the star that's from Captain Marvel's outfit, like it's the same top.
Wait, are they teammates? Do they work together?
They know each other.
Oh, I just didn't know why they had the same star on their uniform.
Well, I don't know. I honestly haven't read anything with Monica, so I can't say anything.
Damn it! You need to answer all my questions.
There's so much in Marvel, and it's gone back for like 80 years or something. I can't do it all, especially anything from before like the 80s is so hellish to read. Allison?
Nope.
Go ahead.
I'm good.
Yeah. I was going to say, anyone else have any other points they want to jump to?
That's what I was going to say as well. And I was also going to follow it up with, I don't have anything else to add. I have checked off all my list.
Just one tiny thing that's completely pointless. It's not really a point, but like once again, the aspect ratio keeps changing, and it's just making my little movie nerd heart sore every time it happens. And every time they go back to like the sword bits, is like it changes to the what we're used to, the regular aspect ratio, and then it goes back to the TV world. And I was just and it changes again as soon as she walks into the basement. Like through that door, which is just, it made me very excited.
I only noticed it a couple times switching between the hex and sword. But yeah, that's neat. I'll have to watch it again and keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, it's not as noticeable as it used to be in the first couple episodes, now that we're not going full screen at all, but it's very cool. Keep it up.
Yeah, they're not doing it the whole change. They literally just cut to a different bit and it just changes again, which is, it's just pretty cool. I just noticed it a lot, which is kind of fun.
I didn't notice it at all ever once in the entire series, so.
I think that you said that the last time Zoe brought it up as well.
Still haven't noticed it.
Do you notice that apparently it's been pointed out my aspect ratio right now is different from you guys?
It is.
Yeah,
It's very weird.
Kind of fun that I'm the aspect ratio lady apparently.
Yeah, you're back in the 50s part of WandaVision still. Could you switch yourself to black and white while we're at it?
Yeah, I'm on 4:3. I don't know why.
Neat.
Okay, do you have anything else?
Not really. I know this is way back at the beginning, but number one, I really enjoyed when, I don't know, Wanda was losing control, whatever, and things were cycling through decades, and the boys went from having different like game system controllers until they just had a deck of Uno cards, and they had no idea what to do with the cards.
Oh,
so confused, just like staring at them. Yeah,
So confused.
so good.
Those cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it means anything, but like when the boys go up to the bedroom to try and talk to Wanda, and she literally doesn't give a crap at all. At all. Like the one boy is talking about how it's so noisy and it's like so many voices in his head, and she's just like, no, I'm resting my eyes. It's like, what happened to the loving mom? Like, I realize that you've been through a lot recently, but I also wonder if it's just because these aren't her biological children. Like, she doesn't need to care about them, which is really harsh, but they don't exist. So it doesn't matter how she treats them. It's like, and then she got up and poured herself a bowl of cereal and just doesn't even offer them any. Like, it's just very weird for a caregiver.
It's not ideal, that's for sure.
I think it was just really highlighting the fact that you're right. She did go.
Yeah, I
through
think
a lot
she's
in the
now
past.
becoming more and more aware that she's just not like they're not real.
Or
Yeah.
that like she just went through so much in the past episode, and it's linking back to the advert, right? That she is going through some kind of mental health issue, and she's just struggling to keep things together, which is obvious through the things switching through the
Well, she's
decades.
grieving. Essentially, she's
yes.
grieving.
Yeah, exactly. And she just does not care about her children in this episode.
Yeah. It also made me laugh when Agnes went to take the boys, and she's like, oh, don't worry, I don't bite. And then it cuts to her being like, I bit a child once.
Right?
What? Why? What
That
are
was
the circumstances?
That was a line I was going to bring up too. I absolutely love that line.
And we still haven't seen
He doesn't exist.
Phil?
He does not exist.
Ralph.
Ralph. I don't know, I can't remember his name. Yeah, Ralph? Yeah. But it's just so funny
Ralph.
that she just like confidently talks about him, but
I think she turned him
No.
into the rabbit.
I have a fun
Ooh.
fact now that we've confirmed that it's Agatha Harkness, actually.
mhm.
So the rabbit's name is something like Scratchy or Sir Scratchington or something, isn't? I forget exactly the name. Anyway, her son's name in the comics is Nicholas Scratch. So
Is he a rabbit?
he's like an evil witch.
Warlock?
Something like that.
we already have a witch.
I'm also hearing myself in
Mhm.
somebody else's thing.
I
Is
am too.
everyone getting that?
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully it. Well, I guess if Munch is hearing it, everyone in the video is hearing it. But
Yeah. I was gonna say something.
you're
It's
a fan
gone.
of bunnies.
It could be bunnies.
No, but everybody enjoyed that half a second shot of Emma Caulfield.
It was nice. It was good to see her gardening.
Just to remember she's there. Every now and then, I'd like a reminder.
I feel like she should have had more of a role. I enjoy her as an actress. So
What if it
That's
turns
about
out
it.
she's a witch too?
What if everyone's a witch?
Just
Plot
everyone in the
twist.
show. Everyone but Hayward, and he's just jealous.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's all I got.
Two quick things I want to leave us with. One, Sword is launching something today, but we don't know what, and we don't know what today means, because who knows if that means it's the next episode or the episode after that. But Hayward's about to do something bad because he wants Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, just one more thing back to very depressed Wanda at the beginning of the episode. Just all the cuts to the mockumentary stuff where she's being like, I don't know what's happening, or even better, the one where she's just like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. And the best version of this I saw, I was scrolling through Reddit, and there's actually one video. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'd be able to find a link to it. But it's Wanda saying I'm fine, cut with Thor from the end of Endgame, where he was talking to Quill, and how in the scene in Endgame, it was Quill being like, I'm the leader, right? And Thor's just like, yeah, of course. Of course. So it was like Wanda be like, I'm fine. And Thor being like, of course. Of course. And it was just kind of back and forth, and it was so great.
That's a good mashup. I like it.
All right. So nobody has anything else, right?
No, I think we're going to wrap it up for this week.
Cool. Everybody, be sure, like, subscribe, comment, all the YouTube-y stuff. I don't know. There's a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up for the kitty right here. Show us that you made it to the end of the episode by commenting. That's a cool kitty.
Yay.
Everybody, say bye.
Bye, guys. We'll see you in a week.
For the penultimate episode?
Yes, penultimate next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.